Day registration 11:30 a.m. Get your clues, find the answers, find Gumball Rally finish line and win loads of great prizes and surprises. Rally car preparation, rally spirit, and lots more. Register now, only $120 per entry. Up to 4 persons per rally car. Register online RotaryCentralKY@gmail.com or call 936-1344. That's 936-1344. Same day registration, only $125. Proceeds go to the Cayman Heart Fund. Rotary Central Gumball Rally. A fun event, not a race event. Rotary, all the good you imagine.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now?
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
In answer to his question about the subjects.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Oh, what a compliment. For that, I thank you.
What is happening now? There are hopeless and hungry.
Now it's time for us to stand up to God or really fall to nothing.
It's time now for Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Listen to the general public, what the public is saying.
Good afternoon, Cayman Islands. It's a beautiful Wednesday in the Cayman Islands, and I'm Laura Young, your host for Talk Today. And in the studio with us today, we have members of the HSA who will be talking about the Moderna COVID-19 fall booster, and other things. So we're going to hear some messages from our sponsors, and when we get back, we will continue the discussions on Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Live Communication.
Let your voice be heard.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. It's been an interesting Wednesday already at Radio Cayman, and we have some exciting guests this afternoon. We have Dr. Hazel Brown, the Chief Nursing Officer from HSA, who's no stranger to the airwaves or to the Cayman Islands. Hello. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And we also have with us Dr. Nick Gent, the incoming CO. Welcome to CMO.
CMO, yes.
The CMO. We want to get those titles right.
Thank you.
Welcome
Laura,
to the Cayman Islands, and welcome to the HSA, and welcome to Radio Cayman.
Thank you.
And we have Dr. Otilla Newton, interim CMO.
Ministry of Health.
The Ministry of Health, from the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we look forward to hearing what you have to tell us. We are all excited. Dr. Hazel, can you start us off?
Am I going to start? I think Dr. Newton's going to start.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So thank you very much, Laura. This is a great opportunity for us to be here to talk about the booster COVID campaign that we're just about to launch now. So we have been, clear that COVID has not completely disappeared, as people might have noticed. But the Cayman Island continues to do quite well, because number of hospital admissions or number of deaths are still fairly on the low side. But we keep on track with what is evidence-based and science-based, and what is going on in the world, etc. So we know other waves coming of the virus, and we keep an eye on the vaccine schedules that are being recommended to make sure that the immunity in our population keeps at a very good level, so that we do not see increase in hospital admissions or deaths. Now, just coming to the deaths, we had 29 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic up to June of this year. And then suddenly in September, we have had a bit of an increase in number of deaths. We have had 5. Of these 5, they were all extremely vulnerable patients, so people who had other serious diseases. None of them had a booster recently. Now, the experience from other countries, and also what comes out of laboratory studies and population studies, it shows that the booster is very, very important, especially for these most vulnerable people, to make sure that in trying to reduce the risk of death and hospital admission. And this is why we are following that, and we are saying we call now, we're not talking about booster 1, booster 2, booster 3 and booster 4, because it's becoming too complicated. We're just talking about the autumn booster, as it has been done in other countries too. And there will be all priority groups and how is given, etc. But is because we want to reduce the risk of deaths and hospital admission in the most vulnerables. And so this is why we are here today, to explain about this campaign, give you a lot of information on the schedule and so on, and the effectiveness also of the booster.
Thank you. Dr. Hazel.
So first of all, I'd like to say thanks to Otelia. She's been a good partner here for, how long has it been now? Feels like forever. It feels like forever. And welcome, Dr. Gent, to the Cayman Islands. That's just my personal welcome to Cayman Islands. Okay, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of official welcomes. I'd just like to share a little bit, in addition to what Dr. Newton has said. In our first and second dose program, we got about over 62,000 persons vaccinated. And we've had this debate, we've had this conversation over the last year or so, over a year now, where we've been talking about how many of those are locals and how many are not. And looking at our population over the age of 70 today, we have about 4,000 people in that age group, and our numbers look like we got a fair amount of those persons vaccinated with the first and second dose. Our first booster, however, drops over 50%. It's less than 50% of the persons who had the initial 2 doses got a first booster. And only 4% have had a second booster of the Pfizer vaccine. And we have to be mindful that immunity waxes, it waxes and wanes, and what we're seeing now is that we're going to start seeing a fall off of the immunity, which I'm sure Dr. Gent is going to share with us, as we move ahead into living with COVID. And I share this analogy of the vaccine as being the lifeboat. We're a marine community, a marine-based culture. So if we're thinking of the vaccine as being that lifeboat, it does not prevent us from falling into the sea. We get in, we lose the big boat, but we have some protection in the form of the vaccine, and we don't want to scuttle that. We don't want to put holes in our lifeboat. We want to try to strengthen that lifeboat and add lifeboats to it. And one of the things that we really need to do is to get that booster, and particularly into that vulnerable population. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. I think it's a fortunate thing. I'm now moving into that vulnerable age group. And it happened very quickly. And I'm going to say to all my friends out there who know me, you know how old I am. So if you're my age, you need to get your booster. And we're going to be moving. The campaign starts really in full swing on this Sunday, at the Health Services Authority. We're going to be working out of the Women's Health Clinic, and we're going to start at 10. We want healthcare workers and persons over the age of 70 to start. We'll see what the uptake looks like. We're not going to turn away anybody, but please don't do me what you did me last year. Be nice to me this year, and
very nice.
We're gonna get persons in and out as quickly as we can. We know Sunday is an important family day, but it's also the day that we have facilities available and staff available, and people can get in and out fairly quickly. Following the Sunday, we'll share the rest of the schedule. We're going to be doing afternoon clinics, again, out of the Women's Health Clinic at the HSA. And the following week, we'll probably be doing some Saturday and Sunday. But it's all going to be based on the uptake, and we will put out the schedule on a weekly basis.
All right. Thank you for that. So on Sunday, it starts at 10 a.m. Is
10 to 3.
To 3. Doctor?
Yes, thank you. I'm just picking up on those points. It really is very, very important that people do come forward. I think a lot of people think COVID's gone away. It's maybe not as severe as it used to be. And this is all wrong. It's still there. And if people are vulnerable, it's still a severe disease, and it's still potentially a lethal disease. We've got to be aware that while some vaccines give very good lifelong immunity, the COVID vaccine isn't one of those. It does need to be topped up regularly, and part of that is because we're facing new variants of the COVID virus coming through. And in that respect, it's really pleasing to see that the Cayman government has been able to procure the new bivalent Moderna vaccine. So this has not just the original virus component, but it also has a component that's derived from the Omicron variant of the vaccine, which is the currently most important circulating variant of the virus. And indeed, there's very good evidence that that because the prior vaccine used was a Pfizer vaccine and this is now a Moderna vaccine, that using two different vaccines in these stages enhances immunity. And because this is this bivalent vaccine, which is a mixture of virus types, that will enhance things even further. So it's really a great opportunity for people to invest in their health. And I just pick up on that point that some people will have missed their last booster. Don't think because you've missed the last booster that coming for a booster now won't be worthwhile. It will. Yes. It's a really good investment in your health. And also, whilst we are clearly wanting to protect the most vulnerable, because those are the people who are at risk of hospitalisations and of dying, we're also wanting, there are other people who are vulnerable or associated with vulnerable groups, such as carers and healthcare workers, that are really important, because we don't want disease spread around care homes or in hospitals by carers unwittingly transmitting infection, because vaccine's very good at trying to prevent infection as well. It's best at reducing severity of infection and protecting against death, but it's also useful against protecting infection. And so indeed, when it becomes available to have a more widespread immunisation programme, and we can, having prioritised the vulnerable, we can open up the programme to more. It's really important that everybody starts to come through when the availability is there, because that is protecting not just yourself, but it's protecting your neighbours, protecting your community by reducing the risk of spread in the community.
Yes, and we're going to go to a break now, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussions with the members from the Health Ministry and HSA on vaccination.
Busy, busy, busy. Feel like there's not just enough hours in the day. Savannah Pharmacy, service to make your life easier. Now you can WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. And pickup is just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays. WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. Savannah Pharmacy, wholesome values with modern conveniences.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
CUC advisory. Due to infrastructure upgrades, customers on Powery Road and all side roads in West Bay will experience interruptions to their electrical service on Thursday, October 13th between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. For more information on the outage, contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200 or email service@cuc.ky.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
The Cayman Islands District Wesleyan Youth Convention is now 10 years strong. October 19th through 23rd at Cradock E-Banks Civic Center in Northside. Take the lead within the church family, community, and country. Nightly services begin at 7:30 p.m. Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Sunday from 10:30 a.m. Featuring Mr. J.A. Roy Bodden, Reverend Ambassador Sylvia Wilkes, Pastor Christopher Murray, and Reverend Fiona Vassal Kerr out of Jamaica. New this year, take in the open-air concert Saturday, October 22nd at the Northside Ronald Forbes Playing Field with barbecue fundraiser starting at 5:30 p.m. Buses are available island-wide, and all services stream live on the Northside Wesleyan Holiness Church Facebook page. For registration, call Cassandra E-Banks on 925-1930. That's 925-1930. The Cayman Islands District Wesleyan Youth Convention, October 19th through 23rd at Cradock E-Banks Civic Center in Northside.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage invites nominations to the 2023 National Heroes Day Awards. The theme is volunteerism and charitable services. Nominate a person or non-profit organization that has exceptionally contributed to the Cayman Islands. To nominate, visit gov.ky/YSCH and click Nominate for NHD. The deadline for submissions is midnight, Sunday, 16th of October. Call 244-2424 for more information. Nominate your hero, Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying, listening to the general public.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Radio Cayman Talk today.
Because
there are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman waiting to take your calls right now.
What the public is saying.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Laura Young, and in the studio with me is Dr. Hazel Brown from the HSA, Chief Nursing Officer, Dr. Alicia Newton, the interim CMO, and Dr. Gent, the incoming CMO. Why am I wanting to call you CO? I guess I'm a little distracted, before we get back into the discussions. You can tell that the authentic Kim Manion's in the room dancing to that very famous song that I really, really love. But prior to the break, Dr. Gent was breaking down a little bit of the details in respect to the vaccine and the booster and the combinations of the mixed and how well that better protects us. The one question I do have that I believe, actually, you said there is a call waiting, right? So we're going to actually take the call. We're going to take the call because we're going to open it up to callers. So good afternoon, caller. You're on the line.
Yes, good afternoon. It's Laurie Young.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
This is your neighbor and friend.
Yes, sir. I recognize the voice.
Broken Hip Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Okay. So good to hear you guys. I know you probably have others waiting. I'm 90 years old now, so I want to know, when can I get a booster?
Tomorrow, since it's you.
Okay, what time tomorrow?
No, I'm kidding. You come Sunday morning at 10. Can you come?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, you'll be the first one. I'll be looking for you.
I had to get a taxi. So where do I come?
The hospital, Georgetown Hospital. And you come into the women's health section. Can you imagine?
Women's health?
Yeah.
I know, because, listen, I'm 90.
I know.
But I am a ladies' defender, so
yes.
That don't sound too good to me. I'm getting too near, Anyway, I don't want to be funny or take up time. I know you all are busy, but are you Dr. Brown?
Yes, sir.
You talked to my sons, You didn't want to talk to me for some reason, but that's okay. I may talk to you Sunday, I guess, but talk to you now.
Or we can come to your house if you wish.
When?
Well, you tell me when you want us to come, and we'll come and bring it to you.
Oh, great. Well, what's convenient to you all?
All right, let me call you after. When we're off the air, I'll call you and make arrangements, okay?
Okay, that's 925-2790.
Okay, I think we have that in our system. I'll be in touch with you.
Because I've been with HSA so often.
Yep.
I am looking forward to talking to, I don't know if she's Miss or Mrs. Yearwood.
Oh, okay. Mrs. Yearwood.
I wanted to speak to her before I said too much on the radio, because I thought that would be unfair, because not everything I'm going to say is going to be the truth, yes, but it's not going to be, a bunch of roses. But I want to tell you, Dr. Brown, before I let you go, that I was on Radio Cayman on the morning show maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe more, and I took the opportunity then to tell the listening public what the great changes were with HSA. I broke my hip, went in there for surgery, I was in the hospital and all that, so that's when I learned about the beautiful changes, and it's all positive. So I got slapped. That got knocked to one side when I ran into communication problem. How in the world can I experience what I did with the fine treatment and everything professional, and I tried to get back to my doctor's office, and I was all over. Leave a message, and they'll transfer you, and I have been so damn disgusted. I got to tell you, Dr. Brown, I got to be careful, because I was treated properly. I've been doing great. But when I can't get back to my doctor's office, I couldn't understand that. And I got to ask you something before I let you go, Dr. Brown. I need something for pain, either than something. I came down here with paracetamol, that, and a broken hip, and surgery and all that. Can you tell me what probably the best thing I may pick up from the pharmacy up there?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you as soon as we finish with this program, and I'm sure if Mrs. Yearwood hears you, she's going to probably be messaging me to find out who you are, and she's going to give you a call too. So,
yeah, caller,
yes, Young.
Yes, Mister. We would.
I'm gonna let you go.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon, and she definitely will call you right after the show. We continue on the discussions, Dr. Gent, on or Dr. Brown on telling us a little bit more about the booster and why persons should still have a booster, and if it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months that they have not had the spacing of the booster.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got very good evidence now from real-world studies of looking at how long protection lasts from the correlate from when the day of the vaccine was given to tracing through very, very large cohorts of people to seeing when and if they got admitted to hospital and so on. So it's not just some theoretical concept. We've actually got very, very big cohorts in a number of countries, so we know when the immunity starts to wane away. And generally speaking, you get very, very good protection up till about 5 months, 6 months after the vaccine is given. You still do get persisting long-term protection, but it's more likely that what will happen if you get infection after that period is that you're more likely to get a symptomatic, short-lived infection. You will still get some residual good protection against hospitalisation and death, but not as good as if you'd had a booster. And the fall away is from, we'd expect, for instance, with somebody who'd had a vaccine within 3 to 6 months, we'd expect people to have 90% protection against severe disease. So 9 out of 10 people who've been vaccinated and infected would avoid going to hospital. Up to 95% who might have died will avoid dying. That's a big, big advantage.
Yes, it is.
Now, as you get out to 5, 6 months or so on, that starts to wane down to about 60%. And so when you come back into what is looking like a resurgence of infection, getting back up to that 90-95% level, and it's probably above 95% for avoidance of death. Actually, that's the big one for vaccine, and then next one is avoiding hospitalisation, and you get back up to that within days of having had that vaccine. And particularly because we know that the older vaccines were best against the older strains, still good against the Omicron strain, still good, but we do know that the bivalent vaccines, such as the Moderna vaccine, probably are going to have that little bit more edge again against Omicron. So even though people have had a booster relatively recently, knowing that we're going to come into a season where they're more likely to get infected, remembering also, of course, Cayman's opening up, so we're getting more and more people coming in, more and more mixing again with the international community. This is a really, really good time to take up that opportunity to get back up to the 90% level and be confident when people are mixing and, building the tourist trade and all these kind of things again.
What if a person has only had one booster and it's been more than a year?
No problem.
Yeah, it's not going to be a problem to have the booster, but is it going to be any more, will it take a lot longer to...
No, it's the evidence seems to be that we get a problem if people have not had a full primary, 2-dose primary, but if they're just a bit of a gap since the last booster, no problem. They get very, very good immunity, relatively quick reaction to it, same as if they'd had a more recent booster. And one of the things I should point out about the Moderna one is that this is a very immunogenic vaccine, so side effects, things like pain at the injection site, maybe a little bit of fever and so on, might be a little bit more common, but the good news about that is that the effectiveness of vaccine, we've studied side effects and effectiveness of vaccine, and people who do have side effects at the time of the vaccine actually get a higher level of protection than people who didn't. And that's interesting, so if people are thinking, I don't want to do it because of the side effects, but actually you're in the lucky group.
You see me smiling? Yes.
You were one, were you?
I was one of those, and they just keep asking. And I said, honestly, I felt like I had it right when I did it, because it was I had just about every symptom there was. And certainly I'm glad to hear that there's the science and the proof behind it.
Yeah, the symptoms you get, funnily enough, from the vaccine, from flu, from COVID, they're all symptoms of the stimulation of the immune system, not from the infection or the vaccine itself. There's a whole load of chemicals your body puts out when you get infected or you get given a vaccine. And it's those chemicals which help to protect your body that also, because they're very powerful chemicals, they're very powerful medicines and they're internal medicines of their own right. And you never get a free ride with these things. So, but yeah, you'd have had good protection.
Good protection. Well, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will continue our discussions.
When you're craving something big, something tasty that gives you that lip-smacking satisfaction, something that hits the spot, there is nothing better than a footlong from Subway. It's
pretty tasty.
Filling and full of flavor. Try our new sweet onion steak teriyaki with a twist. Or the classic chicken teriyaki. Top it with green pepper, onions, cheese, and that sweet onion teriyaki sauce, all piled on your favorite artisanal bread. Satisfy that craving with a footlong from Subway.
Fresh, delicious, tasty, meaty.
Let's make it a meal with a drink, chips, and cookies. There is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers and the motoring public of planned works to upgrade the water supply infrastructure along Marina Drive between Almond Avenue and the Harbour House Marina. Preliminary work began the week of 12th September. Work will take place weekdays between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The project will last for approximately 12 weeks. During the course of the works, traffic management measures will be in place with signs directing the traffic flow. Motorists are encouraged to drive with caution when they are in the area to protect their safety and the safety of the Water Authority's staff. Customers in the area may experience service outages throughout the work. The authority will make every effort to give advanced notice related to outages. Customers can visit our website www.waterauthority.ky for outage notices. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it undertakes these works and apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
JN Money touching down again. Now you can send your US dollars at any location on island, including the BRAC. It's easy. Just walk with your US dollars. No need to convert to CI. This is another convenient service available at JN Money. They always find a way to make it easier and hassle-free. So remember, when you need to send your money and you only have US dollars, don't ever think of what to do. Just head straight to any JN Money location and send your money the fast, convenient, and affordable JN Money. JN Money, touching down again. JN Money, ranga to la friend.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Laura Young, your host for today. And in the studio with us, for those who've just joined us by the airwaves or on YouTube, it's Dr. Hazel Brown, the Chief Nursing Officer for HSA, and Dr. Nick Gent, the incoming CMO, and Dr. Attila Newton, or interim CMO. And Dr. Newton, can you actually provide the listening public with a little bit more explanation on the vaccines, the Moderna and the Pfizer, and how the changes
Okay, so thank you very much, Laura. Thank you very much for that. So just to complete what my colleagues have been saying before, we will be using the Moderna or Moderna for the booster. But if somebody comes forward for the first course of vaccine, so somebody who hasn't had anything or I've had just one dose, those ones, they will be offered the Pfizer. Because that's...
and why is that?
Because it's the...
string.
It's our vaccination program follows a very clear procedure, and basically we have managed to procure different vaccines on the basis of our calculations that we have been making, but also because we know that in mixing two vaccines you actually get a better immunitary response, and this is why our basic first and second dose will remain with the Pfizer, and then the booster is, for the time being, is Moderna. Next year might be something else. Okay, so it's because there is enough evidence to show that mixing two different vaccines will give you a better response.
All right, Dr. Gent, any comments to add to that?
Attila has got the gist of that very, very nicely. That the Pfizer is a full dose primary schedule vaccine, used very successfully as a booster vaccine as well. The Moderna vaccine is in a strength and a type and a formulation specifically to be used as a booster, not as a primary course. So if people have been missing parts of the primary course, need to complete primary course, and then the Moderna booster at the appropriate time. And just to say, if people are completing primary courses with the Pfizer, if they're worried about it being effective, we've got very good studies to show that we've got good performance of the Pfizer vaccine against the current Omicron vaccine. Yeah. It's just that if people have then had primary Pfizer and then we have the opportunity to boost using the Moderna, you get this effect, what we call it's technically called a heterologous effect, if you want the posh terms, this different vaccine effect that broadens and deepens the vaccine protection, but you need the right primary first. So complete the primaries with Pfizer, Moderna booster, and it's a very good booster indeed.
And Laura, if I might just add one last piece of observation on this subject, in other countries, the authorities, they have made absolutely clear that the priority was to give the booster, and if Moderna or another vaccine wasn't available, and it was available only the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca or whatever, or the primary, the priority was to give the injection, doesn't matter what it was, rather than waiting for the new, the new vaccine to come in. We have been lucky enough to balance the things so that we have been able to procure the Moderna, so now we can benefit from this heterologous benefit, But if we hadn't procured the Moderna on time, we would have gone with the booster using the Pfizer, basically, because it's better to give the booster than not to give anything.
Okay, that was going to be one of my questions.
I have a quick question, if I could.
Sure.
At this point. So we have a portion of our population, and maybe I should have asked this offline, but anyway, I think we have a portion of our public that needs to hear the persons who received the Sinopharm vaccine, whether or not the Moderna would be an appropriate booster for those persons who have received Sinopharm.
I'd be happy to answer that. I think I'll just preface it by saying that before I came to the island, not very long ago, one of my roles in the UK was I was very heavily involved in what was called the Vaccine Task Force, and we were involved in assessing the response of people to a very, very wide range of vaccine types. And in particular, the unit I was involved with, we were doing all the live virus studies and providing advice on the effectiveness of different vaccines. Now, the Sinopharm, Sinovac, and similar vaccines, the data on the real-world studies, that is, being able to follow up groups of patients to see how good their protection is much poorer than it is for many of the other vaccines. So we don't have as good a data on how effective those vaccines were to start with. However, but it is a very small group of people. Yes. I have seen evidence of using mRNA vaccines, and the Moderna and Pfizer are of those types of vaccines, when people have had Sinopharm or Sinovac as primary but had one of these mRNA boosters, and they seem to get very good antibody levels, and at least in the laboratory studies where we do something technical called viral neutralization studies, that booster seems to work very effectively on the back of primary vaccine using those vaccines. So if anybody's had Sinopharm or Sinovac, I wouldn't be suggesting that they start again with, say, Pfizer vaccine. I would recommend they go straight into having a Moderna booster.
Okay. What about Johnson & Johnson? Did we have a lot of that in the Cayman Islands?
No, we didn't use it at all. But we've had people who had it overseas.
Okay.
We haven't used it.
And it would be
widely used in the States.
To transition into.
And I'd be happy that was a good primary vaccine, and go straight into a Moderna booster vaccine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for this mixing principle.
So the guideline then is going to be, if you've had 2 doses of Sinopharm or AstraZeneca or Pfizer, go to the Moderna booster. Yes. If you haven't completed your primary, complete your primary with the Pfizer, and then go to the Moderna booster.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Hazel, I'm going to actually ask each one of you to have your final closing comments. Any things that you want to appeal to the public, for those who are hesitating. Actually, before I ask you to give your final closing arguments, Dr. Hazel, would you let us know if there is still a what is the percentage of those who have not had any vaccine at all,
You mean our population coverage?
Population coverage.
Just above 90%.
Okay.
So
yes,
my final words would be, we've done very well.
That's right.
But we have lost loved ones, and we've had people who have suffered gravely and very severe illness and pulled through it. I really wish that some of them would come forward and tell their story. But we need to continue to work towards protecting our vulnerable, protecting our population, protecting our economy. Because every time we have healthcare workers out sick, if we have people off work for prolonged periods of time for severe COVID illness or long COVID, and we are seeing long COVID, people are coming back to work and just not able to function at full capacity. Those things have a tremendous impact on our economy. Employers have to pay extra, have to pay, additional sick leave. There's a lot of threads that go out from that, and I'd really want to encourage all of our people to come forward, ensure that you're protected, that you're protecting your family, that you're protecting your community. And I think everybody knows where to find me. If you have any questions at all, if I can't answer it, I know how to find Dr. Newton and Dr. Gent, and we're happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
And about the visits to the elderly, the home visits?
We're going to do them. We did them from the very, very outset. We just need the people to reach out to us. The district nurses know pretty much who their people are that need to have the home visit. But if there's anyone out there who is not connected with the clinic, who feels that they need to have a home visit at this point for this booster, who may not have needed it for the initial series, by all means reach out to me. I want us to be clear, though, that it is not only the over 70s. If we have people who have severe kidney disease, like we'll be looking for our dialysis patients, we're looking for people who are undergoing cancer treatment, those sorts of things. If you feel that you're vulnerable and so vulnerable that you don't want to wait until we move to the next phase, by all means reach out.
Dr. Newton, any final comments?
Thank you, Laura. Well, the final comment is, again, I have to remind the public that having these last 5 dates in a month has not been very good news for us. Besides the family who go through their grieving and so on. And this is why it's a very strong appeal for people to come forward for the booster. As I said, none of these people had received the booster within the last 3 months. So we need to do as much as we can to make sure that we can protect the most vulnerable in our society, and to protect then the whole of the population. Our statistics in terms of mortality are still pretty good. We haven't changed in the Caribbean, so we are definitely one with the proportionately, the rate per 1 million inhabitants amongst the best one. We have just above one tiny country. So let's keep it there, and we know that doing a good booster vaccination campaign will help greatly on that.
We're going to pause for the news, and when we come back, we're going to have our final comments from Dr. Gent.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. The Liquor Licensing Board will hear applications for temporary liquor licenses made in accordance with Section 15 of the Liquor Licensing Act. The meeting will be at 10 a.m. on Monday, October 31st at the Government Administration Building. For more information, please contact info@dci.gov.ky or 244-6678. In international news, Russia says it has detained 8 people in connection with Saturday's explosion on a key bridge linking Russia to Crimea. Its FSB security service said 5 of those held were Russians, while the others were Ukrainian and Armenian. It says Kiev was behind the attack, but a Ukrainian official described Russia's investigation as nonsense. An upcoming episode of the YouTube talk show The Shop Uninterrupted has been scrapped after Kanye West allegedly used hate speech and extremely dangerous stereotypes in an interview. The move came as it emerged the star had shared a series of comments based on racist conspiracy theories in a separate interview with Fox News. Fox removed those segments before broadcast, but the footage was leaked. The star was previously suspended from Instagram and Twitter for making anti-Semitic comments. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. For the latest in news and information,
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born September 25th, 1947, at Watering Place, Cayman Brac, Royce Adolphus Dilbert was the firstborn son to Helen and Grace Dilbert, née Tibbetts. As a young boy, he attended primary school, then later Gainstead High School in Jamaica, when the family moved there to be closer to his dad, who was chief engineer on Cockernel ships. During school breaks, he would work at Hannah's haberdashery store as a wrapper. Wanting to be a seaman and engineer like his dad, shortly after his 16th birthday, Royce would join his dad on the Cockernel ship, the Kirk Pride, as a messman, later working on other Cockernel ships for Bawden Shipping on the Merkel, National Bulk Carriers, West Indian Towing Company, and West Indian Lines. Mr. Dilbert would enroll at National Technical School, and at age 25, he achieved his chief engineer license. By this time, Royce had worked his way up the ranks from BR messman to wiper oiler, fireman, second and first engineer to chief engineer.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza, open Monday to Friday 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Bawden Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Laura Young, and we are concluding our discussions with Dr. Brown from HSA and the interim CMO, that's M in the middle, and the outgoing CMO, and I'm going to ask them to, if you have any final comments, we're going to actually do your final comments and take the call quickly because we do have our other guest waiting patiently.
Okay. Well, I'll keep my final comments pretty short, Laura. It's a great opportunity for people in Cayman. They've got the absolute up-to-date bivalent vaccine available to them. It works extremely well, and it's a good investment in the health. And I would just say to some people who may be thinking, I'm not sure whether it's safe or appropriate for me at this point, get advice. For example, very common group, women who are pregnant, they often think all medicines are unsafe. Actually, COVID vaccine and flu vaccine absolutely essential because COVID or flu in pregnancy is very, very destructive, very hard to treat when there's severe disease, and these are safe vaccines.
Thank you. And we'll take that call. Caller, you're on the line.
Yeah, I got a question about the booster. Now, this new booster is not a Pfizer booster, I understand.
No,
correct?
It's not. It's now the Moderna, and I'm going to be looking for you.
At 10 o'clock on Sunday morning.
10 o'clock Sunday morning. Come after church. You can come after church.
Wait a minute. Is the coagulation with these two separate produced boosters, I mean, have there been any really adverse results of that?
Hi, it's Dr. Nick Gent. I'm happy to talk to that one. I think what you're talking about is that there's a very, very rare condition where you get where you can get some clotting. It's a syndrome called VITT, if you want to know what it is, and that's only associated with certain types of vaccines which use something called an adenovirus vaccine vector, and that's the AstraZeneca and the Janssen vaccine. There's been no clotting issues associated with either the Pfizer vaccine, which is used as the primary here, or the Moderna vaccine, which is our booster vaccine. They're both technically what are called mRNA vaccines, and they're not associated with this unusual but very rare syndrome.
Okay, one other question. A three dose or a 3-shot, the two primaries and one booster, what would be the general length of the immunity that would preserve?
You get extremely good protection over about the 6 months after that. That's the optimal period. But despite the vaccine waning, you still get good protection against hospitalisation and very severe disease up to about 12 months. But it becomes much more common to get symptomatic infections in that sort of last half of that 12-month period. Optimally, though, you get really good protection over the 6 months after the booster, but you get residual good immunity that's worth having for a longer period.
Colin?
All right. Thanks.
We're going to ask you to leave us there. Thank you for the question, and we would like to thank you all again, and we wish you all the success with the booster. We're going to pause, take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have further discussions with our other guest.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
The Business Buzz. Each and every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Brought to you by
Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
The Heritage Day series, brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, continues with the Bordentown Heritage Day, Friday, October 14th from 11 a.m. to 12 midnight at Nurse Josie's Senior Center at Cowood Beach. Celebrate your district and Caymanian heritage, local food, performances, fireworks and more. Bordentown Heritage Day, Friday, October 14th from 11 a.m. till midnight at Nurse Josie's Senior Center at Cowood Beach.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public could say.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Laura Young, and in the studio with us this afternoon, we will be talking about the NHD Nominations Committee. And with us here, we have Miss from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage Events Manager, Miss Vintisha Connolly. Welcome again, no stranger. And we also have Miss Tanisha Barnes, who is actually the Acting Deputy Chief Officer within the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture. Welcome, Miss Barnes. And Mr. Carl Brown. How should I introduce you? I mean, you have so many hats wearing, so...
I am a part of the...
Sorry, I think his
Microphone?
Yeah, there it is.
Yes. I have the privilege of serving as one of the community members of the Heroes Day nominating committee. And I'm actually replacing one of our members who was unable to stay this long from work.
I heard that stressing. Yes.
And I have the privilege of joining our ministry staff along with other volunteers who are going to be working to make sure that National Heroes Day in January is the 23rd?
Yes, I do believe that's the date.
Yes. Working towards making sure that we have nominations rolling in around our subject of volunteerism and enabling it to be a success.
Thank you. And on that note, we're going to ask Ms. Vintisha Connolly to just give us a background and details on the nominations and the closing date and so forth.
So this year's, or 2023.
Yeah, team.
Gotta think of this as the future.
Right.
The theme for the National Heroes Day in 2023 is volunteerism and charitable services. So that speaks volumes as to who should be nominated. We have a community of givers.
We certainly do.
So we should be getting in nominations by the boatload. However, people have been a bit slow to put their nominations in, so we're here to try and encourage them to get it in, because the deadline for nominations is this Sunday, the 16th of October at midnight.
Which my first question is going to be, you think you might have to extend it just a little shorter, depending on how many you get, or when will you make that decision?
Well, we're hoping we're not going to have to extend it, and we do know it's very Caymanian to wait till the last minute. It's happened in previous years, and so this is like our last push to remind people that sometimes we assume someone else is nominated. We say like, oh, we know so-and-so, she's done really great volunteer work. I'm sure someone's going to nominate her. I would say don't assume, and if there's someone you know that has done really great work that you want to be recognized, please fill out the form and nominate them. We would encourage every single person. Don't just think about it, actually just do it.
Yes, thanks. Wise words, encouraging them. Can you tell us a little bit about the committee so far and what that has entailed, how many members? And
the committee, I think it's made up of about 13
members.
13
members, yes. So people is a cross-section of the community from the ministry as well as different volunteer services. We have Mr. Carl, which I think the community is very familiar with him through all of his volunteer work. And I see he has his pin on today. You want to tell us about the pin and who you're...
Well, I'm a Rotarian and part of Rotary from 1993. And I'm a part of a service club community in a large way. And that's not only Rotary, because we've got the Lions Club, we've got Rotary, and a number of other organizations that I have been involved with. Now, our committee comprises of a representation across all the districts, including Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
I'm glad you didn't forget them.
We can't afford to, because without them, we're not the Cayman Islands.
Absolutely.
And our committee comprises also of very able civil servants who have been involved in this process before. So they're holding our hands and enabling us to achieve the objective of getting nominations in and making sure they meet the criteria. Now, this year's theme being volunteerism is a very wide theme, and it needs to be, because our country's history has been fundamentally nourished by people who have given of their time, of their resource, and their lives, literally, without compensation. And the reason why we stand so tall today, it is fundamentally on volunteerism. We're talking about the Francis Bodens of this world. We're talking about people like Ha, who started to train people, youngsters that he saw with the potential to realize their ambitions in trades long before we even talked about doing things about a trade school.
Yes.
We are talking about
the plumbers and the
people
carpenters and
like Miss Teacher Macfield,
yes,
who started some remarkable things and went on to do significant work on behalf of community, sometimes to the detriment of their own family and their own personal wealth. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about not only nominating organizations, we're talking about nominating individuals, but we're also talking about pioneers. So people who have passed on, we need to remember them, and they will be represented by their family members. It is critical for you to do this. Please do not pass the opportunity to go through this simple process of nominating people who have been a part of why you are so successful today.
Yes, we are definitely a community of giving and volunteerism, and I highlight that point. I support that point, that's why we're really successful as a nation, and we come together to do that irrespective of where we are. On that note, you've gone through the categories. Can you tell us a little bit about the criteria eligibility, please?
So, for individuals to receive the award, the volunteer must meet the following criteria. They've made an exceptional contribution to voluntary services in their role, impact, reach, engagement, and inspiration. And the voluntary service must have been in the Cayman Islands. We're not looking for volunteers who help overseas charities. We know there are some of them that are here. However, we are looking for, as Mr. Brown said, those people who are involved in the Lions Club and Kiwanis and Rotary and the Girls Brigade, those type of volunteer associations, to make sure that they come out not just nominate individuals, but also to nominate the charity itself. Tinus and I were talking over lunch about the Girls Brigade, and I didn't know that there's a chapter of the Girls Brigade in every Presbyterian church.
Absolutely.
Yep.
In the Cayman Islands. Yep. So, whoever is
that goes back to about 70 years.
Absolutely.
Some even older than that. So
yes.
You think about Webster's Church from when they were founded, they pretty much had a
yes.
Girls Brigade.
1898, somewhere there.
Yeah, it is.
So those ones, each chapter would be able to be nominated. So you could have, the Georgetown chapter, Savannah, the North Side one is
North
West
Side,
Bay.
West Bay.
Yep.
And as a fellow Girls Brigade officer and former captain, I can support that. Definitely been a big...
And these organizations have been fundamental to youngsters who realized ambitions and are now in their rightful place in community, contributing to community right now in a very meaningful way, because somebody volunteered their time to shape them in their youth.
Yes, and we're not leaving out sporting associations who have done that also. So, there's the Future Football Club and other football clubs who have been there for quite some time, and their work is in the community with the children and building those kids, because their reach, their impact, the role that they have had continues to be and none of them are paid. I'm speaking from being a coach and giving up, working for 7.5, 8 hours a day, and then turning around and doing 4 more hours of coaching on this after school, and then
balancing family and work.
Exactly.
And volunteerism.
It's like Mr. Brown said, we give it up, and we don't even think about the fact that we're giving up our time with our families, our time with ourselves and whatnot. We're always thinking about what more can we do for our community? What more can we do for the children? What more can we do to assist, the Humane Society or those organizations? So,
like Junior Achievement, we have those as well.
So one of the caveats is we want the organizations to have been in service for at least 20 years or more.
I was going to ask.
Yes, so 20 years based in the Cayman Islands and registered in good standing with General Registry. So those are one of the criteria we'll be looking at. And also internationally recognized as well. So we have a list which is on our webpage as well, that when you go on, it'll list it as well. And so once the nominations come in, as a committee, we'll sit down and start vetting them. And then we'll reach out to organizations as well as persons and let them know that they'll be appearing receiving an award at Heroes Day in January. Sorry.
That's okay.
We also have a category for philanthropists, those who have given quietly and have been a fundamental part of recovery. I'm thinking about what happened in 2004 with Hurricane Ivan, where there were individuals who stepped forward and did remarkable things quietly with a lot of their personal wealth. We're talking about COVID and the fact that we had flights that brought in essential goods for us to enable us to be where we are now in our recovery because of the charity of individuals. So that has a threshold of $1 million attached to it.
I'm wondering, how did you arrive at $1 million and not anything lower? And what if there are other, philanthropists who may have really significantly contributed but hadn't reached that $1 million? Because I can think of a few.
Each Heroes Day has a challenge in that it cannot embrace all of who would like to be recognized. And unfortunately, we have to have a cutoff and a number of people that we can do justice to the fact that you are a hero. As such, if you didn't make the cut this time, there's going to be an opportunity for it to come back around to you. So there are people who did not get nominated during our previous Heroes Day around sports. And I knew that there were people like Victor Thompson, who was involved in swimming, who was involved in island games for the last 18 years, who should have been nominated then, did not make the cut, and the opportunity now arises today. So in speaking to the philanthropist, they probably would not have been able to make the cut now, but there are some who will, and at some time in the future, they will make the cut because we won't forget what they have done. We've got to work with a short time. We have to make that day special, and we have to make that day, which is January the 23rd. So in order for us not to have sleepless nights between now and January, we need to make sure that there's a cutoff time and there's a fairly high threshold to meet.
Understood.
Jumping on what Mr. Brown said, I had someone call and say, I want to nominate this person, but I don't think they would meet the 20-year threshold as an individual. And I said to him, well, why not? And they said, well, because the person is still quite young. They're in their early 20s. Of course not. However, this is not the only time that volunteerism and charitable services will be the theme for Heroes Day. We do recycle them every 10 years or so. So, like I said to the person, in 10 years when this theme comes up again, that young person will have now done their 20 plus years and getting recognized at that time for the work that they're doing. So it's not to say that we're trying to cut anyone out, but like Mr. Brown said, there has to be that threshold so that we recognize those who have built the foundation for volunteerism and charitable services in Cayman. And then as we move forward, though they are the foundation, then we move to the next layer, which are those people who are volunteering now, those teens, those young persons in their 20s who are volunteering now and giving of themselves. In the next 10 years,
they will qualify.
That's their time to shine.
That's right. We're going to pause and take a break, and when we come back, we will have more discussions on NHD.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners, now using the most popular and eco-friendly cleaning solvents. 2 convenient locations to serve you: Savannah Countryside and Eastern Avenue, Georgetown. Drive-through, rain or shine, free pickup and delivery services available. Call Puritan Cleaners, 949-7104. Also ask about our in-house discounts. Puritan Cleaners, you feel good when you look good.
Puritan Cleaners, 949-7104. That's 949-7104.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Busy, busy, busy. Feel like there's not just enough hours in the day.
Savannah Pharmacy, service to make your life easier. Now you can WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. And pickup is just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays. WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. Savannah Pharmacy, wholesome values with modern conveniences.
For the record.
For information that matters to you, the people. Hear from the government, the opposition, independents, and other experts on issues and solutions that affect you.
For the record.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, tune into 89.9 and 93.9 FM for Cayman's Straight Talk Morning Show. For the record.
I invite you to join me for the record. You are invited to be a part of this interesting and informative show. Embrace the opportunity to dialogue with your legislators, policymakers, and those charged with policy implementation.
For the record.
Brought to you by
Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors.
Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Laura Young, and in the studio with me, for those who have just joined and listening to us, it's the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, and we have the Acting Deputy Chief Officer, Tanisha Barnes. I have to confess, I thought your name was pronounced a little differently all this time, all these years. And also from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, the Events Manager, Ms. Ventisha Conley, and Mr. Carl Brown, who is a part of the committee, and we're talking about the National Heroes Day Awards and the Nominations Committee. And I'm going to ask Ms. Ventisha Carl, can you kind of go through quickly the criteria for the early pioneers and the pioneers too?
So our early pioneers are people who have been deceased, and we're talking about people who have served in community back in the 1800s. They should not be forgotten, because at the time money was scarce, but ambitions were huge. And our country has always been one that has lived an outsized kind of life in terms of its ambition and where it wants to go, and was not able to do so with money. Economy was very small. So what we got done was accomplished by people who volunteered. So the Francis Bodens of this world, the Glida Forbes, Dick Arch, who was part of NCVO's development, the Andresens, who helped to develop the Andresen, the children's part of the NCVO. There are so many parts of life that are directly attributed to people who have passed on but need to be remembered. We also need to remember that whilst a charitable organization may not be on the books and meet the criteria of the nominating committee, individuals who have contributed to making that successful can be nominated. For example, the Cayman Blood Donor Service probably do not meet the criteria right now as being compliant with the
criteria.
With the criteria. But they're individuals who have been very instrumental in making sure that we have a continued supply of blood. People at the National Gallery, people all over our community, regardless of the organization, who have done their share and need to be nominated, should be nominated. And they may be in a tombstone, but they cannot be forgotten. We just cannot afford for them to be forgotten.
So if there's anyone today listening and have any questions prior to the cutoff on Sunday the 16th, who can they call? Can you give us a little bit of information before we go into? Because
they can call us at the ministry. Our number is 244-2424, and we'll have someone walk them through it, as well as if persons are having difficulty at home, perhaps accessing the internet, the public libraries have partnered with us, and people are able to go there and receive help as well.
And that's a very important thing. We want to remove every barrier to enable you to come in and nominate. So you can go to the public library, somebody's there, willing and able to assist you to make your nomination known.
Yes, I want to go back to the early pioneers, and I know you've gone through a list of people who could be, and I just wanted to specifically read the criteria. It says any individual alive or deceased who has been the founder or an exceptional contributor to the development of voluntary service in the Cayman Islands prior to 1980, and I just wanted to stress that timeline that was said.
So the Lions Club is 50 years old, and when the Lions Club started, they were a group of charter members, and they are a part of the fundamental framework of who we are today.
And voluntarism, they
yes.
started it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the same with Rotary, and the same with a number of other organizations.
So moving on through the categories, we have the early pioneers. The pioneers is an individual who has made exceptional contribution for 20 plus years in voluntary services in their role, impact, reach, engagement, and inspiration in the Cayman Islands. As Mr. Brown said earlier, we have the philanthropists, who is an individual who has made monetary donations to charitable services in the Cayman Islands exceeding 1 million Cayman Islands dollars. And then our charitable services. So any not-for-profit organization that has made an exceptional contribution to the development, enhancement, safety, and well-being of the community in the Cayman Islands for 20 plus years. So those are the 4 categories that persons can be nominated in.
Yes.
And our nomination deadline is Sunday. And it is Sunday because the 13 members of the nominating committee would like to be able to have nap times between now and January 23rd, when we have National Heroes Day.
Maybe you can take us through a little bit of what happens once all of the nominations are in and it's closed, and a little bit of the work that you're able to speak to that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, we can probably...
It's quite an interesting task, because what we'll take all the information, and of course we have to verify it, because part of the process you have to submit to people who can confirm the information. So it's going to take a lot of research on our time, which is why we're giving ourselves that leave time, that we're not rushing and letting people know a week before Heroes Day that they've been nominated or a family member. And we appreciate that. Persons may want to know a little bit sooner, So behind the scenes, we'll be working on that, confirming the information that's been given, calling up different organizations to confirm that someone said who was part of it in 1980 that is actually supported. So it's a bit of background work for us to do, and so that's why we're trying to get people to nominate by this Sunday, because the portal will close at midnight and you won't be able to get on Monday at 12:01. It's not going to happen. So by midnight, we're saying, please nominate the person. And again, a lot of times we think someone else has nominated a friend, but we're saying do not assume. We would rather have 4 and 5 persons nominate one individual then that person being left down. Someone's like, oh, I thought Carl was going to do it, or I thought
Yes.
Ventisha or Tanisha. So if you're thinking of someone who you know that's done extremely great work in the community, we encourage you to nominate them.
And how long is the form? I confess I didn't get a chance to go look at it.
It's actually not very long.
Like 1 page, 2 pages.
It's
in
just a few
terms of
questions.
a form, it's about 2 pages long if you print it out, and we've kind of moved away from people having a hard copy, because it's easier than when we get the nomination online to disseminate it to all of our members, so that the research isn't just falling on one person, but all of the committee has all the paperwork, and they can go through it and help to vet, which will make the process a bit quicker, but it's still a very tedious process to go through.
Yes.
Yeah, so we ask, obviously, the name of the person you're nominating, what category do they fall in, and then you just put in the supporting information and the person who's nominating them, and you also have the choice of putting an additional person as kind of a verifier as that. So it doesn't take a lot of information, and it doesn't take a lot of time. If you have all of your information in front of you, I would have
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10
Because
minutes
we
at the
understand
most.
people have a lot of things to do. We're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, because, again, we want people to nominate their friends, people they know in the community, their service clubs. So, again, we're not trying to make it too cumbersome. It is very user-friendly. And if persons have difficulty, they can contact us at 244-2424, and also go to the public library.
And that's before 5 on Friday, because you're not going to be there on Saturday.
The library will be open after Saturday.
To answer the question.
To answer the question.
And the online address for the form is www.gov.ky/YSCH. Then there is an NHD.
There's a button right
There's
up
a button
in the top left-hand corner.
That's beckoning to you. You push a button, and then you're in.
And we also have a video on how to apply as well. So we've made a video and it's been circulating.
Oh, I'm impressed with that. That's great.
So we're trying to, like Carl said, we're trying to remove all the barriers.
Yes, that's very important, because I know back in the day, well, when I had to make some nominations before, you had to walk it down to the glass house, put it in the envelope, and you didn't have that opportunity to do it online back then. That's quite a while. I do have another question for you. What is the response so far? I mean, have we been getting a lot? And I mean, I know that you're here to push it more, but would you say in comparison to previous years, National Heroes Day, some things like maybe Ian and all the things that have been happening have kind of slowed us down?
We had some mourning, and then
some mourning, yes.
It has taken its toll on us with everything that has happened between opening in September and now. And frankly, we are not where we hoped we would be with receiving nominations. I can say at this point we are under 50 nominations right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what the percentage was like. Or the
and we know that there are a couple of thousand.
Yes,
to be honest.
it's a lot.
I mean,
and these categories are so wide and very fair, and have been thoroughly thought through. So, we'll see. We'll see if you'll have.
Right. We should. I mean, a normal Heroes Day has about 300
yes.
Recipients receiving awards across the various categories. And we have reached out, as Tanissa said earlier, we've reached out to those organizations who we know are in good standing and meet the criteria, to say to them, please nominate not just your organization, but nominate the persons in that organization who have built, that organization, brought it from the foundation and put it to where it's at.
So the charter members for Lions, for Rotary, the various Rotary clubs, there are 4 in the Cayman Islands. They need to pay attention.
Yes, I actually spoke with Norma when we were coming in, and she said, we've got members working on it. So, but before the deadline, we're going to have all of ours in.
There you go.
So, and that's what normally happens for Hero Day. Everyone waits until pretty much the last 48 hours, and then we get a lot of applications. And we're just encouraging people to just put in as quickly as you possibly can, because it is an online portal. It will close at midnight.
Any final comments as we...
Volunteerism is inextricably linked to the vibrancy of the Caymanian fabric in the past, today, and in the future.
Amen.
We cannot do the disservice of not honoring those who have given and given their all.
Ms. Conley?
I can't say it any better than Mr. Brown said. I just want to continue to remind persons to nominate persons, nominate charities, get it in there, even if you don't know whether they've hit that 20-year marker or whatnot. Let us make that decision that they didn't meet that little bit of the criteria, but put in the nomination so that we can know, and we can actually have a database. So when this comes around 10 years from now, we can look back on the database and say, well, you know what? This, organization was only at 18 years in 2022, but now 10 years down the line in 2032, they've hit that 20-year mark and plus. So, of course, they're going to be recognized. So nominate, get out there, get online, www.gov.ky/YSCH, hit that nominate for NHD button, or call us at the ministry, or go and visit one of your public libraries. There's multiple ways to nominate, and as we've consistently said, don't think that, someone else is going to nominate Laura. Mm-hmm. Let me do the nomination because I don't want Laura to miss her chance to be recognized for the work that she's done in our community and for our country and for our people. So again, people, just please go out. Well, not go out. Get in front of your computer and nominate. And the form is actually not just computer friendly, but it's also mobile friendly. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So if you want to, if you only have your cell phone, you can still pull up the form and fill out the information there and attach the documents that need to be attached and submit it with your cell phone too. So again, we've broken down all the barriers for you to nominate persons.
So the Cayman Islands, go out, and I'm taking Ventisha's appeal. Get on your computers, get on your phones, and if you have any questions,
talk to your elders, please.
To your elders, to your friends, your family, your
you
neighbors.
You need to talk to your family,
yes,
because they have forgotten some of them.
Yes,
and if you talk to your elders, they will then remember something that was way back, and we just cannot forget those early pioneers.
Yes,
they have
yes. You keep
exceptionally important.
So the individual category, it has to be 20 years and more that someone has volunteered. Mm-hmm. Okay.
In the Cayman Islands.
In the Cayman Islands. Well, thank you.
We thank Radio Cayman, and we'd like to thank our Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and we'd also like to thank our protocol office, because they themselves have gone significantly a far way to enabling us to help them.
That's great. So we thank them too. I want to thank you, Ms. Barnes and Ms. Connolly, and I wish you all success. And I pray that on the 16th or on the 17th, when you start looking, it's so overwhelming. You're just going to have your work cut out for you nicely.
Thank you very much, Radio Cayman. Thank you very much.
We're going to pause and take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue our discussions and talk today.
Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic, your life connected.
The Fall Labor Force Survey is currently being conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office. The Labor Force Survey collects data on employed and unemployed persons. Trained interviewers with ESO ID cards will visit randomly selected households in all districts. The interviewers will exercise appropriate COVID-19 protocols using personal protective equipment. The interviews are confidential in accordance with the Statistics Act. No individual data will be published or disclosed. Survey data are exempt from freedom of information. For more details, please call the ESO hotline at 516-3329.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool. Before, during and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Radio Cayman News.
I have taken the decision and tendered my resignation.
The Speaker is accused of alleged misconduct against 2 women at a government function back in September. Members of the opposition are noticeably absent in Parliament.
Under this government, we are rapidly becoming a kangaroo parliament.
This PAC administration retains the confidence of the people of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Did you know that in the event of a hurricane, water designated for the purposes of drinking, cooking, and bathing must be disinfected before use? Water may be disinfected either by boiling or through the use of chlorine bleach. To disinfect through boiling, simply leave the water on the fire for 1 minute after it begins to boil. To disinfect with bleach, add 3 ounces of chlorine bleach to every 1,000 gallons of water. If you are not able to smell the bleach in the water after 30 minutes, then add half of the amount of bleach that was added during the initial application. Recheck the water after 15 minutes to ensure that there is a residual bleach smell. A residual bleach smell is an indicator that the water has been properly disinfected. For more post-hurricane safety tips, visit DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Laura Young, having a lot of fun in the studio. It's been a very interesting afternoon with lots of great things happening in the Cayman Islands as usual. We live in a very blessed community, and we are continuing our discussions this afternoon, and I'm actually going to introduce Miss Vintisha Connolly because she's sat right in the same seat, continue on from NHD nominations, and now we're going to be talking about one of our favorite topics in the Cayman Islands. It speaks to our history, our rich history. It's Pirates Week, Heritage Week, and also with us we have Honorable J.E. Banks, elected member for Northside, and it's the Minister for Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here.
And we also have another guest. I'm going to ask Ms. Vintisha Connolly to introduce this guest.
Alongside Minister E. Banks, we have Jeffrey E. Banks, who is the chair of the Northside Pirates Week Committee.
Welcome, Mr. E. Banks.
Thank you, Hannah.
So we got a Northsiders in the house, and we got a little Kim Brack in the house, and then we got West Bay in the house. So we got it all covered here, really well covered. So, Miss Vintisha Connolly, can you start off our discussions and tell us a little bit about how Pirates Week has evolved into 3 months, although the hurricanes and other things that have come along have sort of pushed it right almost to back where it originally was. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm going to correct you first and ask you to please refer to it as Pirates Fest.
Pirates Fest, okay.
We have rebranded, but we have kept the Pirates Week trademark, as that is something that, as the Cayman Islands, we never want to lose. But this is Pirates Fest, and yes, it was originally supposed to be 3 months, 12 weeks, but the passing of our late Queen, Hurricane Ian, has pushed us to now a 6-week program, and we are starting this Friday with the Bodentown Heritage Day Heritage Day. Can you tell this is just I eat, sleep, drink Pirates Fest at this point. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking about what's next. But yes, we start on Friday at 11 a.m. in Bodentown with their District Heritage Day, starting at a Nurse Josie Senior Center. They're starting their day there. That'll go from 11 till about 6. And then at 6 o'clock, we move over to Cowood Beach, and we finish the night with them there with music and food and fellowship and entertainment and fireworks.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very momentous knowing that it would start in Bordentown. I know originally
Yes.
it wasn't. Knowing the first capital and the history of, Mr. Jim Borden, who actually started this Pirates Week Fest, formerly called Pirates Week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very historic, and Bordentown, is known for a lot of excitement. And I can remember there. Not too long ago when they would have it, when they would close off the streets and have their Pirates Weeks there. So it's really good to hear that it's starting off in Bordentown. And so let's hear a little bit about Northside. What's going to happen up in Northside?
So then we move Saturday, October 15th, to Minister Ebanks's district. And I'm actually looking forward to this because I hear that there's supposed to be a host of pirates coming in. By boat, by barge, by something into North Side, and I'm thinking to myself, I heard this rumor. They haven't confirmed it with me, but maybe it's going to be a good thing
because it's going to be like a reenactment of the actual invasion of the island. So they probably need to keep it secret, right? Right, Minister J.
I have no clue what time the pirates will be in. Let's just keep it like that. If you want to know, come on out, spend the day with us. But yes, it's been quite some time that we haven't had Pirates Week, and it's an event that I've always enjoyed. I've been chairman for Pirates Week for several years. Now Mr. Jeffrey is the new chairman going forward with it, and I'm pretty sure we're going to deliver as we usually do when it comes to Pirates Week. I know we've always been motivated, and it's always been a great competition to be between all of the districts, and especially when it comes to the float parade, of seeing and then just being amongst the chairmans and discussing what they're doing and that competition that we always have every year. So I'm actually glad to see that it's back now, especially after COVID
we missed it.
Gone for, and hopefully it never returns. We can.
Technically it's still here, but not to that.
We don't want it like how we had it before.
Exactly.
But we're so, Northside Day, we're getting ready to kick off in the day. We're going to have a lot of events happening in the day. We're having music that's going to be playing by J.R. Douglas and his band, which, J.R. Douglas is actually a Northsider, so, it would be remiss of us not to have him there playing that day for us. And on display, we usually have a lot of stuff on display. This year, I think the National Gallery will have their display of art collections and stuff. Will be out. The Seafarers Association, the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association will be out, and then there's always grounds, an old-time grounds that we set up, which is actually usually done by Mr. Hal Miller and the Botanic Park, where they come out and they set up their grounds, like how the elderly people used to be planting everything in I don't say one little square foot. They'll put everything in one little square foot as much as they could at one point in time. But then, we'll also have a lot of activities for the kids. We'll have bunks and castles and stuff, things going on and happening for them. I don't know if Jeff wants to say anything as we go along, or you want me to continue?
Jeff, you're doing a good job. But what I'd like to ask is, what makes Northside so distinctive from the other districts? Why should we come all the way to Northside, and what are we going to be expecting different up there?
Northside has always been unique. It's the location, the key location that we have. We're one of the only districts that actually have a key location on the north, in the North Sound, where it's easy to access by boats, and that's why when Ventisha was talking about the invasion of the pirates, it's so much easier to have that happen because we're surrounded by that atmosphere down there. The weather is always very nice. It's cool. It's like going to the beach and enjoying it, but also having a little festival fun at the same time. And, everyone is always taken back by just how beautiful the grounds is down there. We've had a little damage from the storms, but, we're getting that sorted out with the grounds. But it'll definitely be a beautiful day, and I would be remiss of me not to invite and tell everybody. I think they should come out, and enjoy the day, because it is one of the start backs of the Heritage Days getting going, and it's things that it's just about getting people back out and being personalities, touching base with one another, hearing some of the old tradition things, and listening to some of the elderly people of their days at sea and listening and that one person giving you their their little gossip at times. So, that's something that we used to have as a little gossip tree. We would try to put those that like to gossip a lot under that tree and just put the sign above them so that, people know exactly, want to hear the news. This is where party come by this tree right here.
Real Caymanian.
Yes.
Yeah, well, many years ago, I remember taking a boat from West Bay up to Northside to the Pirates Peak. So, absolutely.
And I do know for Northside that they're working with the ferry to actually try to get persons that want to come that are from the Western District, by ferry up to Northside, which would be really interesting. I'm not a big boat person, so
it's a beautiful ride up and down and fun, lots of fun.
Just to add to what Minister was saying, to in the question that you asked about, basically one of the main reasons for people to come out to Northside is because of us, the people.
That's right.
And
that's right. And the food. But we're going to pause and take a break and go to the news. And when we come back, I want to hear what kind of food you're going to be serving up Northside.
Oh, boy.
All right. That'll make me hungry.
Radio Cayman, the voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. The Alliance to End Domestic Violence, Domestic Abuse Community Awareness session scheduled for Saturday, 15th of October at the Aston Ruddy Civic Centre in Cayman Brac has been postponed until further notice. In international news, Lucy Letby has been accused of murdering 5 baby boys and 2 girls and attempting to murder 10 other babies at Countess of Chester Hospital. Nick Johnson, KC prosecuting, said she was a constant malevolent presence in the hospital's neonatal unit. Miss Letby denies 22 charges at Manchester Crown Court. Jurors heard Miss Letby is alleged to have tried to kill one child 3 times, while another died as a result of being injected with air. Displaced families in Syrian camps are begging for donations on TikTok, while the company takes up to 70% of the proceeds, a BBC investigation found. Children are live streaming on the social media app for hours, pleading for digital gifts with a cash value. The BBC saw streams earning up to $1,000 an hour, but found the people in the camps received only a tiny fraction of that. TikTok said it would take prompt action against exploitative begging. The company said this type of content was not allowed on its platform, and it said its commission from digital gifts were significantly less than 70%, but it declined to confirm the exact amount. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
Welcome back to Talk Today. I am Laura Young. I'm your talk show host. I know the listening public is probably wondering what's going on with me today, but it's just been one of those exciting days, and I gotta have a little extra boost of energy, and I'm unable to drink any more water at this point, so I keep going. And for those who have just joined us, we're actually talking about Pirates Fest. I'm sorry, Ventisha, and those who have spent so much time changing the name to Pirates Fest, but I still like that Pirates Week and Heritage Day, so I will probably be going interchangeably talking about that. So Ventisha, can you tell us a little bit? Actually, no, we got to go back to the north side. Is they going to tell us what kind of food we're going to have up there, and what kind of food are you going to entice us with, since we need to come up there for the people? Let me hear about them cakes.
Everybody come north side for that hospitality of the north side people. But let me tell you, man, there's a list of vendors here. If we have conch.
No, it's still out of season.
That's all right.
We not putting nobody in trouble.
But they could have frozen it.
They could have bought that. We bought it from Costulas. We got stewed conch. We got conch fritters. We got fried fish and fritters. They got breadfruit. They got Let me tell you, they got stewed turtle, they got fried crab, they barbecue chicken, they lobster, they got Wilkes, they Cayman style beef. They got some of the things listed here, man. You're gonna have to come down and taste this stuff. And I'm looking at the list of vendors, right? I could not even tell you which one would be the best one because I'm gonna have to do a taste test from everybody on here because they're all good chefs. They're all good Cayman cooks. So
I can see that our judges are going to have a hard time.
They are going to have a hard time on this one to figure out who's going to be the best cook down here. And then, we can't leave out, you have Mr. Willis fresh fruit juices down there. Everybody always comes to Northside to get something from Mr. Willis fresh fruit juices down there. And, we have Betty's Treats, which is her famous cakes that she's going to be doing. It is happening. It is happening. When it comes to food-wise, we got you covered for that day. You have to come down if you want to get something to food. There's no need to stop along the road. All road leads just straight to Kaibo to come get food when it comes to Northside Day.
Sounds great.
Yeah, you can bring an
empty belly.
Bring at least a towel, if not a tent.
They might have sleep over.
Yeah,
Miss Conley.
It is. I'm really excited to see the competition, the camaraderie between the districts and their heritage committees. Sterling and I talked about this several weeks ago. He asked how it was, and I said to him, our first night, our very first meeting, East End looked at Georgetown and said, game's on.
That's right. It's almost like going back to high school dealing with sports when you were part of that Pirates Week committee in West Bay.
It's
everybody wants to win.
Everybody wants to hold that trophy high
right.
and say that our district was the best district this year. And so then, following that up, 2023 is going to be even bigger and better with our districts knowing, okay, this was what we did next year. We got to step it up because we want to win, or we want to retain that title of the best district. So I'm very much looking forward to Bordentown and Northside's district days this week. And like I said, our judges are going to have the hardest time throughout the next couple of weeks judging each district and making sure that they get a little touch of everything to be able to put that in their on their tally sheet. So
I agree with you on that. I agree 100% with you on that. Just to throw a little teaser to you, I just got understanding that those Pirates had already set sail, so they're looking to be landing somewhere around sunset in the north side down at Kaibo. So you guys figure out that time when you think the sun is setting down there. They're supposed to be landing around that time frame. Oh. So hopefully you guys will be in before and be able to enjoy the landing of the Pirates coming in there.
Hint, it's going to be a little bit before 6, between 5 and 6:30.
You guys figure it out. I want you all to come a little earlier, but I can just leave it like that.
Leave it like that. So how have you been involved with the preparations, Minister Ebanks? Knowing that you have to take a relatively back seat, but not a back seat this year, now that Jeffrey is on board, taking over your position.
Well, me and Jeffrey has worked together for Pirates Week for, I don't want to throw out a number, but I know it has to be close to 14 years, I would say, that we had to be involved in Pirates Week from Mel McCoy days.
Yes.
Working with Mr. Mel, and then actually I have an opportunity to take over from Mr. Mel and running it for several years myself, and then now passing it on to Jeffrey. But I've, anything when it comes to the district, I've always been involved in, and Pirates Week has been something that has been passionate. I've just loved to be part of anything when it comes to the Cayman heritage. It is something that I'm just drafted to. So, unfortunately, this year I have not been able to interact with it as much as I would love to. But I can guarantee you that when we're getting ready to put that float together, I'll definitely be out there every day and night with it to make sure we get that done. But cause that's where the real competition is, if you ask me.
Yes,
bringing
it
that
is.
Float down.
I wish you the best, but I'm not going to be. My heart is torn because I lived in Northside for 8 years, and I would say a rejected West Bay to a certain extent because I went up Northside.
Yeah.
But you know how it goes.
We'll
see whether them Georgetowners or them East Enders going to beat the West Bay.
We'll always welcome you back if they don't want you down there. But it is going to be. Leading off from the Pirates coming in, it is going to be a wonderful night. We just pray that we just have just a little bit of breeze, no rain. We're going to have a lighting we have our bonfire that we're going to be lighting, which will be taking place at around 8:15 that night. Fireworks will be around 8 o'clock. So I think the bonfire probably will just be lit right after the fireworks are done. This year we're having Sound Revolution, which is a very known band out there that, DJs that play music, and I know a lot of people like their style of music that they play, and they can cater to just about anything that any kind of atmosphere. So definitely come out. And not only that, but it is my birthday weekend that day, so I
that's another reason to party.
That's another reason to have a good party for it. So definitely come out if you're not coming out for the food, at least come out to say hello and wish me happy birthday.
Sounds good. Happy early birthday.
It does sound like it's going to be a really big night there in Northside. I might have to just book an Airbnb up that side for the night.
Absolutely. We have all of those covered too.
Yeah, I have someone who's actually a listener from WhatsApp is asking about, that if you were speaking earlier on and maybe they didn't hear, but we'll clarify that you're working on the vendors to have boats come up from Cayman Bay from the West Bay area.
Yes. In speaking with Feliciana, who was on the North Side Committee, she said that, one thing that they were hoping to get, and they were still working on with the ferry people, I can't remember the name of the company. The water tax.
Water tax, yeah.
Something like
water tax.
Is they were working on trying to organize that people could meet, at Cayman Bay, which is, I think, their stop, and then be ferried over to North Side and have that running throughout the day for a small price, not,
It won't be free.
It won't be free,
Absolutely.
but it'll be a small price, and it means then you can park your car by Cayman Bay in their parking garage or whatever, and then not have to worry about being in traffic and then coming back home, through traffic again. One thing we do want to encourage people to do is to carpool or take the bus or whatnot when you're coming to these heritage days, so that we don't have that additional traffic on the road. So,
speaking of buses, will you then organize buses that maybe, they can offer the service in order to ensure that service is there, and then people who necessarily don't want to carpool, they want to probably ride the bus. That's another option you could think about.
We've put it out there to the buses to make sure that they're running their proper routes throughout the islands to take people to where they need to go to get to the different heritage days.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Could we hear a little bit more about, before we go back to Bodtown, because the Bodtown is probably wondering why I'm here, siding more with the North Side. Can we hear a little bit more about the celebrations that starts in Bodtown in our first capital on this coming Friday, right?
Yeah, this coming Friday. Like I said, their celebration starts at the Nurse Josie's Senior Center on Gun Square Road.
You better get
I'm
that
learning
right.
these things.
Get that right.
Do you understand how hard it is for a Braca to learn all these places? You ask me a road on Cayman Braca, I can tell you it without my eyes open.
All you need to do is get the chairman from every district and make them help you out, so that when you guys speak about it, you know exactly how it goes.
So I've been learning these things. So yes, the Nurse Josie Center, they will have again the typical food vendors will be there selling their great food. Miss Mary Lawrence and her team at the Nurse Josie Center will be offering tours of the centers throughout the day. There's going to be entertainment there. I know Anita told me the band that she's having play, but I can't remember the name of it right now. And different displays throughout. They have areas set up where people can, have their displays, sell their crafts, those kind of things. So that's where they're starting for the morning, and then moving over to Colwood Beach, where it'll be a very similar setup with their vendors, with their entertainment, and just areas for people to come and sit out and enjoy the evening. So,
all right, sounds like we have actually, we're going to continue on with our discussions. Sorry, there's can we pause and take a break, and when we come back, we will continue our discussions.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven-roasted chicken, Black Forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway, eat fresh.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Well, this is Laura Young, and I'm the host for today. Listening to the song, talking about Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, so I had a little chuckle. I was like, no, this is not Sterling, this is Laura today. We're actually going to make an apology. Miss Anita Lapierre was supposed to call in, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties, so she will be coming into the studio to talk a little bit more about Boddentown. So we're going to continue our discussions and take it back to the men from North Side. Oh, actually, we do have her online. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anita. How are you this afternoon?
I am good. How are you doing?
Great. So you're going to tell us a little bit about Boddentown Heritage. I know Miss Vintacia Conley was actually doing a really great job there, but we want to hear from you, a real native Boddentowner, so we can tell us where is Gun Bay, Gun Square, COVID Beach. So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen at Boddentown this coming Friday.
Okay, so on Friday, our event is actually at 2 different sites. We're going to have the day event at Nurse Josie Center. That is in the back of Gun Square, Humber Avenue. Why we're really having it down there for the day is because our heritage display is in those centers down there in that park. So we will be having that on display, as well as steel drums. We're going to be having lots of good Caymanian food, crafts on display. And we will also be having school kids coming in to do some performance for us. So it should be a full day event that takes us up until 6 o'clock.
Are you able to say then when it starts at Nurse Josie's and when it sort of transitions from Nurse Josie's to COVID Beach?
Yes. We will kick off at 11 o'clock at Nurse Josie's, 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then we will move it over to COVID Beach from 7 until 2 a.m.
Wow. And what's the band and music? Can you tell us a little bit about the music and the food and what we can expect to hear from Bordentown? Is it going to be a little bit different from the Northsiders? Here's a little competitive streak that I need to hear now.
Yes. Well, we're going to have a lot of old-time Caymanian dishes, seafood, of course. We're going to have the steel drum there. This is for the day section of it. We're going to have Mr. Dexter Borden performing as well. And we're going to have the school kids doing some performance. For the night, we're going to have a live band. Studio 7 will be performing, along with the steel drums and multiple DJs. And, of course, our fireworks will be on display at 9 o'clock.
Sounds very exciting. Can you tell us a little bit more about the dishes? I need to hear that you can have, a nice warm up, it's going to be the beginning of Pirates Week, and I want to know that, our bellies are going to be full with that good Caymanian food, because it could be 24 hours before, almost 24 hours before we get up to Northside, and they could have an invasion up there, so need to be prepared for that.
Yes. Well, we are going to have the Pirates make our appearance as well for both day and night. And we will be having conch, lobster, wilts, crab, Cayman-style beef, all of the whole works,
So where your conch come from? Does your conch come from down the road, or you had it frozen?
No, we have it frozen, but it's actually local conch.
Okay, local conch. We just checking,
Yes, no, it's no overseas conch here. We're dealing locally.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll also be having heavy cakes, cassava cake, mostly, yam cake, potato cake. So we'll have all of those cakes out there as well. So we just want everybody to come out and support us and have a good time, because we're looking to have a blast on Friday.
What would you say that you would consider very distinctive and unique about the Bordentown Heritage Bordentown Pirates Fest, Pirates Week, Heritage Day, that would be, distinctive and unique to Bordentown, that would not be found in any other district? What would you say that you can tell the listening public and remind those who have been to many of these Pirates Fest, Pirates Weeks, or for visitors who are not from the island? What is so unique about Bordentown? What do they expect to? What can we expect to see there?
Well, Bordentown was the first capital of the Cayman Islands, and we have so much historical items on display, and we're unique in a way where we're actually doing it at 2 different locations. We're going to have it at the day, which is going to be at the center, and then we're moving it at the night part over at the beach. So they'll be able to enjoy the day, the atmosphere for that, and then moving on to the beach, of course, with nice sea breeze and the beaches, they'll be able to all enjoy.
What about parking? How are we addressing those? I mean, obviously the roads will be closed off with people coming in. Where will they be directed to?
Yes, we will have a lot of parking onto Aston Borden's Road, which is the road that you would take for Bordentown Primary School. We have a lot of parking there, and we also have parking by the library. So we have quite a bit of parking that our people can park.
All right. Any other final comments about Bordentown, Anita?
We just looking forward for Friday and everybody to come out and enjoy what we have to offer, and the good food, the music, our displays, and just have a good time.
And great Bordentown culture. Well, thank you, and I wish you every success. And I know that we will have lots to talk about after all of the districts are over, and look forward to the big competition on the November 19th. Is that going to still be the day for the float? So.
Definitely.
Sorry, no, for the float parade?
For the float parade,
no,
sorry.
That is the 12th of November.
The 12th. Oh, it's moved up.
So on the 19th, I'm
Yes.
going to announce which district has won.
Yes.
So.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
All right. Thank you, Anita. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Back in studio. So, Northsiders, I'm being very informal with you today, Minister, because you're in the Pirates Week mode right now.
I am in the Pirates Week mode, yes.
So, Jeffrey, any final comments on why we need to come to Northside?
Best cassava cake in the world.
That's what I want to hear. I need to hear something to entice me up there.
Don't forget about custard top cornbread.
Oh, and that's my favorite. Oh, I have to learn how to make
one,
that.
Jeffrey. I come in just for that.
That custard top cornbread.
As what and he's saying cassava cake, and it leads me to talk also about the 16th of November, which is a new thing that we brought on, which is our cassava cake and conch fritter competition. So if you
give us a little teaser though, where that could be?
It's going to be at Coral Beach. Kenny and those have generously come on as a sponsor for this and hosting of the event. So what I want and what we want is for those persons from each district who you think are the best conch fritters and the best cassava cake to be registered and take part in this, because the judging is going to be hard. But there is someone who's going to have to come out on top as having the best cassava cake. And I'm sorry, I'm a little...
one of the judges?
Oh, you took that right out of my mouth. I would love to be a judge. I love to be a judge, a food connoisseur, and I know authentic cassava cake. And not everybody can make it, you know. So I want to see this in conch fritters too. And I hope that I'm going to have conch and them conch fritters. I don't want no load of flour. So
That's it. So
we do have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to Talk Today.
Hello, good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Honorable day there. Well, I'm calling from the district of West Bay. I think we can have a lot of competition, you know.
Yeah.
Food, right?
I was waiting. I couldn't understand why no West Bay had called in yet.
We tell them we got our favorite down there. We're not gonna put that one over the radio again for you guys. I'm gonna leave one out to pick it out for myself. West Bay is known for, well, we got plenty of dishes.
You want me to kind of slip it in a little bit, just in case?
No.
Okay.
No. You leave them right to make them figure out.
You really think they're not gonna figure that out?
What?
You better make sure you have a plate ready for us when we come West Bay.
What? Yeah, we can have it. I can't get too much. Oh, I can't give away my cigarette, right? That's how we waiting on you. We looking forward to come to Northside and get and you all need to get some marinated conch. You need to get some. Remember the conch fritters, like that woman just said, you can't have no raw flour. It got to be plenty of conch. When West Bay's make conch fritters, you can actually find the conch, you know.
You're not searching for it.
But back in the day when it didn't have ration, we all could find a conch in our district.
Yeah, but then as rationing it, they won't make it either. So.
True.
I think they putting too much restrictions on the people, and that's why they got rationed so much and everything with it. But
okay.
That's a different story. But we got to try to congratulate you guys and come on. I missed a portion of it. Is they doing the landing last, or they doing the heritage of first and then the landing?
So our Heritage Day, our Heritage Days is what starts us off with Pirates Fest this weekend, this Friday with Bodden Town, and then Saturday with Northside. And then we move over to your district in West Bay on the 29th of October. And then we move it all the way back east on the 4th of November for East End, which also kicks off Little Cayman's weekend. And then we wrap with Georgetown's District Heritage Day on the 18th of November. And then, which Georgetown's Heritage Day is after the Grand Cayman official open. So the Pirates Week of Pirates Fest. So we still keep Pirates Week. That kicks off on the 10th of November with the Pirates Landing and the float parade happening on Saturday, the 12th of November.
Okay, that was why I missed. I didn't catch it very. I thought they usually do the landing first and then they go to the district. But all do it opposite the time.
Right, but what you did hear was correct, though. Minister Ebanks and his Northside crew have said that the Pirates apparently are going to make a pre-landing in Northside.
To start it off.
Yeah,
yes.
You gave them a special passport to get in.
So, they're coming in under cover of dark, making sure that the governor doesn't find them before time.
That's exciting, actually. It's different.
They might be coming to capture us, so what's it good?
No, they can't come capture us. No. We are the official inhabitants now. They're not capturing us. So that's why it's always been a reenactment, and no Northsiders just want to show them.
Yeah, that's what I know. I just kidding. Yeah, that was it. Northside got to show them who's in charge, right? They got to show them the Cayman we still got coverage.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But thank you, caller.
See you guys.
Yeah, you make sure you keep that that secret thing down there and have lots of plates.
Okay, no problem. I will.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
I do have another caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you? Mr. J.
Yes.
Sir.
Mr. J, I hear you, But that Westby is a dangerous person. I just get to talking with her to collect my business, but I'm not going to state neither. I'm not going to bring it out. But you got how go Westby because on the north side does not got that.
Okay.
The Born Town does not got that. They have got the top.
I don't know. East End is kind of close behind the two,
No, yeah, but that's all right. But they can't. Not a West Bay that just get through there. Mr. J, it's good to hear you, sir, and I'm looking forward to come north side. When that is Saturday?
Friday.
No, Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
Saturday.
I'm messing you up.
All roads lead to Kaibo North Side.
When that is? Saturday
in the time after, starting from 10 o'clock, is it?
Oh, well, I got with her when the sun sets. I don't know.
Oh, well, we got all night, so you can come anytime.
Yeah. And the only thing with that now is the custard top cornbread, because I got somebody that makes that too. And that is good. They're good on that. Excellent on that. So, no, so I got some good stuff there, but I West Bay, you got to look out for her. But, and like I can tell you, be sure, go West Bay. And I gonna secure your plate for you, Mr. J, from her.
Okay, all right.
I gotta take care of that for her because we're not gonna make nobody know what that is. But
yeah, nobody not gonna know what that is.
And I mean, I'm surprised that our West Bay sitting down there that they deported from West Bay. They don't know what it is.
You think I don't know what it is? Oh, that's on my list to make this year. I want to learn how to make that. It's not that hard.
I don't think she's a real West Bay.
Never you believe. That's all right. I'm a real Caymanian, and that's what matters.
No, we talking about West Bay now, because you don't know what that is that you're talking about. But you guys have a wonderful day. And Mr. J, continue the good work, sir.
Thank you, sir. You too. Have a good day.
Oh, thanks. That was good camaraderie there from those two callers. We thank them. So any final notes from our guests, our final points on what is something that we regard as one of the most celebrated time in the history of our country? Pirates Week just really puts on display who we are. The music, the food, the fellowship, it really combines really our cultural and family and getting together. And as you were saying early on, Minister, regarding them standing under a tree, I could just visualize that. That's real.
That gossip tree.
That gossip tree, yes.
And there's probably not a gossip tree, but a gossip front porch in every district. You can go to that person's house and get the entire gossip for the entire district from start to finish.
Yeah, oh yes. Well, we just want to make you all know that Saturday all roads lead to Kaibo. We expect to see everybody coming down. It is a free event. We want to see, it's a mixture of a culture of everyone, the kids, everyone can come out in the daytime. Let us all enjoy the cool breeze. Let us enjoy the atmosphere of the North Side and the good people of North Side. That is usually what brings a lot of people out, because they remembers the hospitality of the North Side people are number one. Just come out and enjoy the night, and it is a night. It is a rock away. Those were the days, and we're bringing it back, right? And we've been 2 years since Pirates Week. We haven't had anything
since 2019.
2019, and I tell you, it'll be a very, very intriguing night. Come and sit down and watch the bonfire get lit and the fireworks that we'll have, and let's listen to the music and have a great time and enjoy it. Or make sure that safety is always number one, and come on out.
Miss Conley.
So I'm going to roll that for Bodden Town. So I'm inviting everybody to come out on Friday, October 14th, starting at 11 a.m. for Bodden Town District's Heritage Day at the Nurse Jose's Center, and then moving over in the evening to Cowood Beach to finalize their celebration. I will say, and it hasn't come out yet, but I know it's coming out. The Deputy Governor has agreed to give all civil servants an extra 45 minutes to an hour to go out to Bodden Town on Friday. So again, we encourage people to carpool, get together with your co-workers, and head up to Bodden Town and enjoy the festivities there with them on Friday. We look to this being a really great start to our Pirates Fest with Bodden Town and Northside, and looking forward to the entire schedule coming to life.
Yes,
Bodden Town. I can definitely tell you that the PIE team will be coming that direction, because we just had that talk with the chief officer, and he said we're going to Bodden Town to get some lunch for that day. So we'll definitely be out there to see and taste that good turtle stew and conch that you guys have out there in Bodden Town also.
Sounds good. Well, we thank you and we wish you all the best, Ventisha, with all of the rest of the planning and rolling out the new plans and the not so new plans for Pirates Fest, Pirates Week, and look forward to hearing great things, great reviews from Bodden Town and Northside, and I'm sure we'll all see each other at each one of them. Please, listening public, go out and support these Heritage Days and the Pirates Week Fest. It's a lot of work that's been gone into them, and we've missed them, and we would love to see the community come out and really offer support to each and every district. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow at 12:15 for more Talk Today.
This ain't no carnival, but it's a Pirates Festival. In it, believe me, there's lots of fun. Everyone come out to see just what it's going to be, to have a Pirates Festival. Oh, this festival, you can feel it in the air. Yes, this festival, with pirate atmosphere, for the pirates are on the street, and they're jumping to the beat. This is a grand festival. Oh, the pirates are in command, so let us all join the band. Jump along.